that since we've gone live with the CreateOS Lounge. Pleasure to be joined by Sam, who is the brain and the sort of the builder behind Git City. I stumbled upon Git City randomly. I think it was a week ago on my feed, and it just immediately sort of caught my eye. The UI is very impressive, and B, I think the idea behind this so simple yet so powerful. So immediately send you a DM, and stoked to be for you to join us today. So thanks for joining us. Do you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll take it from there? And of course, everyone who knows who Naman is.
Sure. Really appreciate it, man. And thank you, everyone, and thank you for inviting me to share everything about Git City. But yeah, I'm Samuel. I from Brazil. I am software developer for 10 years, I think so. Yeah, AI changed everything about coding, and I was an Angular developer for years and years, and now I feel that I can build everything with any framework and anything. So for example, Git City was built for using React, and I'm not a React developer. So that's it. I'm developer and I built Git City.
Amazing. I think something that you said there is what can I say? The common theme now with building is that with AI, there's almost maybe not enough time in the day for a brain like yours to develop new stuff and add new things to your existing projects or come up with a new one. So just before we went live, I asked you like sort of what's the latest with Git City, and you told me about an issue that you encountered yesterday, right? Maybe you can shed some light on what goes on in the background, and it's not all shiny, and there's actual a lot of debugging that goes on in the background.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yesterday, someone sent me a message on the Git City Discord saying that the number of buildings are stuck in 51,000 buildings. And then I started trying to understand, trying to figure out what happened. And I just noticed that now every time that a developer opens the Git City or someone opens the Git City, I get a JSON from Supabase with all the beauties, all the buildings. So it's a very big JSON, and this JSON file got more than 50 megabytes, the size, And Supabase has a limit of the size. A default limit is 50 megabytes, and I was just hitting that limit, and the Verso was not able to get the new buildings in the city. So I just had to figure out how to solve that, and I did it yesterday night, and I just zipped the file, and it went from 50 megabytes to 4 megabytes, and now I have a lot of space to increase the city. So it was just one of the biggest issues that I have with the city growing and growing a lot.
That seems to be the theme, right? Maybe you can shed some numbers, some light on the numbers that you've seen, because I mean it's crazy, right? With the traction that you've been getting in since you've been live, right? For the first 2 weeks, how are things looking? How big is the city?
Yeah. I think now the city has almost 60,000 developers, and yeah, it was crazy because in the first week we were with 12,000 developers in the city, and then it seems that an Indian guy created reels about the project, and it went viral on Instagram. And it was, I think now has more than 1 million views on Instagram, the video. And from one day to the other day, the city grows from 12,000 buildings to 30,000 buildings. Yeah, it was I think more than 15,000, 50,000, 20,000 developers in
What?
one day, something like that. So it was crazy. It was crazy because yeah. So I had a lot of issues because of that. So Supabase went down because I was using another way to load the city. So I was loading the city by chunks. So 1,000 chunks per time. So when we will have 10,000 buildings, it was okay. It was just 10 calls to the Supabase API. But when I have 30,000 API calls, it was a chaos for the city, and everything was down, and I had to change everything. While and it was funny because I remember that at one time I opened the city and it has more, uh, almost 500 devs in the city, 500 people in the city at the same time in the live count, and I had to solve the issue with Supabase, and then everything, the website was down, and I need to solve that very quickly, and I tried a lot of things, and
Can
then I
imagine.
found that idea to use a JSON file, and now it's working.
That's all it matters. Maybe Naman, you can shed some light on what he, because I think that could be no better assist than what we just announced, right? With our integration with the Superbase, and maybe what your thoughts are about the issues that Sam sort of faced, and how CreateOS possibly could come in for such solutions in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, big fan of Git City. I had this concept of the $1 million grid. I don't know if you've seen it before. The $1 million page where you have every brand coming up and purchasing certain pixels and putting their ads there, right? And I was very fascinated by that concept altogether. And to be honest, like I'm actually working on something inspired by that concept as well. And I saw your post about this Git City, and I'm not on Instagram, but I know that this went viral on X as well. That's where, yeah, this page, this is what I was a big fan of this page somehow. You had like 1 million pixels, and yeah, like this was like owning the piece of internet history, and
Exactly.
this was just lovely, right? And I really, found it fascinating. And when I looked at Kid City altogether, I was like, yeah, this is a good way right now because almost every third to fourth person who is on internet today is active on GitHub or has got a vibe coding infra ready now, and this could be a good way to showcase and gamify the entire experience as well. So kudos on the concept. First of all,
Thank
I
you.
think I loved it altogether, and yeah, it's part and parcel of the build cycle where you would go through a lot of challenges. All the major challenges that you faced with Versal, Superbase, trust me, we've all been there. And with the load and traffic that you got in the first couple of days itself, I assume you might have not even thought about it. It just went viral, and kudos on that. I think it was very well built overall, and I'm glad to see that it's all stable now, right? And I was discussing with Eric yesterday itself. I really want to find a way where we can sponsor this to bring it on CreateOS somehow, because you're using, I forked the repo, I tried deploying it, went very smoothly with CreateOS altogether. So was super straightforward. And yeah, we just announced Supabase integration. So you can even spin up your own Supabase and do the entire authentication and everything managed by CreateOS itself. And yeah, like we would love to see how many more developers can jump in and just make it like a changing the theme of CreateOS for a day where we could showcase Git City as a showcased applications and all. So would be keen to do that. I think it's a fun way to get more developers to come in, and we will we have something in mind that I'll discuss with you personally after this podcast, where we would gamify the entire experience, and if you're up for it, we'd be open to contribute on that as well. So that's the thought process. But once again, like kudos on the massive success with the entire launch. Going viral with a video and getting 1 million views, and then getting like 60,000 devs. So how many devs are there right now? Like 60 or more. Like that's an interesting metrics altogether. So yeah, once again, kudos on that, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you'll be surprised by how similar you guys are thinking wise, and what can come together. I think it's a powerful mix that can come as a result of this. And
Sure thing.
um, yeah, I think we won't spoil too much, and I think we'll have hopefully some productive discussions, right? And what stood out to me, right, is that I'm not a builder, right? Sorry, I'm not a dev, right? It was the element of competition, because it's kind of obvious that devs are very competitive, and then everyone wanted to have a taller building, right? So it almost feels like a Lego game where everyone is sort of stacking up their Lego on top of another, and who has the tallest Lego tower wins. So, and I also saw, because I did connect my GitHub yesterday, I was playing around with the UI, which is very clean. How are you looking to sort of play on that element of competition, right? That you know that devs have, and gamify that experience for the users. How are you looking to do that?
Yeah. For now, I'm trying to figure out and find ideas to add more and more gamification on the Git City. But for example, for now, we've already have a lot of little games in the city. One of the games is the fly. When you fly now with the airplane, you have coins to get the coins, and there is a leaderboard, and that has been amazing because there are a lot of guys really trying to be the first one of the day of the leaderboard. It is crazy. So there is a guy that I think he's the first one 3 days consecutive. So he's really, really, really trying to get all the coins in the and everything. So it's been amazing. So we have this game right now. We have daily missions. So every day, everyone has 3 tasks to do in the city. I also added something like that, this trick like Duolingo does. So every time that you logged in the city, so you get a streak, and it's just another thing for you, for the devs net to continue going to the city and uh, using the Git City. Also, we have some battles in the city, so you can just get a build and battle with that another dev, and the battle works. So you, it counts points. So you have attack points and defense points, and these points are summary of your commits from the last uh, week, the your streak, and your kudos on the city. So the more things you have, the more attack and the more defense you have. And it's been awesome because sometimes I just get an email that I defense from someone's trying to attack me, and it's crazy. So the guys are really trying to use in the city and just flying around the city, and it's been awesome. And I have a lot of new little games and new things to the city. So I really like to add a lot of uh, things that I like. For example, I've already added some Easter eggs, Matrix Easter eggs. I wanted to add some, for example, Mr. Robot series, Easter eggs, and Severance Easter eggs. So I like these type of things, and I like to add
That's nice.
my DNA, the things that I like in the city. So I like to do these type of things, and I'm planning to add more and more Easter eggs and more games in the city. So that's my idea and my plans for the next steps.
That's amazing. Naman, I
Nice.
saw
I,
you
I,
unmuted
I I
yourself.
was also
Yeah, go
playing.
on.
I was also playing with this. Like I really loved the concept of that, surprise gifts popping up, and then yeah, you can collect that, and it just further like highlight your grid altogether. So it was really good. I didn't play any games so far, but yeah, I'll definitely try to play those. Nice.
And I think the fact that you are able to bring in, what can I say, your own, um, you mentioned DNA. I think that's the right word, right? And because it's still yours, it's a city of builders. And what kind of feedback have you received from fellow builders? Because I mean, I've seen some pretty big names, right? Of, the CEO of Versal got involved. Just like, these are big contributors, right? So, what kind of feedback and general comments did you receive from the builder community about your project?
Yeah, I got a lot of comments and a lot of people talking about the buildings and these things. Uh, One thing is that before 50,000 devs in the city, everyone was able to add another dev in the city. So for now, we have a lot of that. I think that's why we increase a lot the city, because I I try to remove every friction of the people using the city and adding their buildings there and sharing everything, but yeah, I receive a lot of feedback, a lot of things about how can we improve. And also it's amazing because it's an open source project, so we all now we have more than 15 contributors on the code, on the city code. Yeah, I think now I have 7 PRs to review. So every day I need to take some time to review the PRs. And for example, the sky and the sun and the moon on the city that we have right now, it was a PR. A guy just opened a PR with a sky, a new sky, completely new sky in the city. With each team has his own its own sky, and it's amazing because a lot of people are contributing with the city, contributing with uh, everything, and it's been really good to have this community thing growing up.
So sick. And I mean, the more I look at it, the more I sort of think of GTA. I don't know why, but it does feel like a map in a way, right? Where you can do stuff. So it's an infinitely modular concept in the sense that you can build on it by adding on experiences, right? So the things that you're working on adding, right? You mentioned, for example, the plane. I don't know how soon you added that, and that you can fly around and stuff. Are you adding things based on with the mindset of, oh, I think this kind of game would be very fun for a developer audience, or are you just thinking, I like this, I'll add it, because you know what I mean? Now you're dealing with a pretty sizable audience, right? So are you thinking, I like this, so I'll do it, or I think a lot of people would like this, so I'll go down that
Yeah.
route?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think both of them. Sometimes I just have an idea and okay, that's amazing. I will do that. But sometimes I just listen to the users and the people. We have a Discord channel and there are a lot of suggestions, a suggest channel that the people are adding ideas and things there. So I think it's both of them. Every time that I have an idea, I just write that down and I save that. For example, I've been using Cloud for everything on Git City, and I've been using a skill, a brainstorm skill. So every time that I have an idea, I just start typing with Cloud to brainstorming that idea, and I save. And Cloud is starting asking a lot of questions, a lot of things, and after I answer all of the questions, then Cloud saves it in a plan, and I have it saved in my repo, and then I can start work on it later. So for example, right now I have an idea of adding a mini game in the city. It's literally a game in the city, and the idea is to do something that represent Matrix and Mr. Robot and Severance. So I have the entire game, the entire thing planned right now. So I just need to spend some time to work on that. But yeah, sometimes I have an idea and I write that down and I use Cloud. So I use Cloud for everything right now. I use Cloud to get transform my idea in my mind to some very good plan, and then after I can work on that and I can implement it.
Naman, you want to add to that, considering the discussions that we've all been having internally about Claude and how the sort of it's compelling for it to become integral, right, with how we work to scale our level of productivity. And I think Sam's example is the perfect example, right, of productivity being boosted as a result of AI.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, like no questions at all. Good to see your fellow Claude builder there. I think, I've been a huge fan plus a huge consumer of Claude altogether. Like even my $500 plan sometimes goes out of limit. Then I top up on my own, and it's been like 8 different terminals, um, orchestrating stuff and trying to like optimize. But yeah, it's a stage where it all boils down to having that one solid idea that you really want to back and that you really want to think about building and just validating it, just brainstorming it, and just not overthinking on anything, right? And the Git City is an example for it, right? The way Sam mentioned that he just had an idea, he brainstormed with Claude and got started with it to build end to end with it. That shows, how seamless the development side of things have changed in like last 4 months or so rapidly. I know it was existing before as well, but last 4 months have just been instrumental in the way software has been looked at right now. And that's the sole reason why we wanted CreateOS to be a platform where you could like deploy and monetize, so that you can plug in our MCP, plug in our skills, and just move forward to deploy front end, back end, super base integrations, all of it under a unified environment. So it's good to see the success with Git City and consuming Claude to the fullest. Like, I agree. Right now, just optimizing that setup for your own requirements is the only thing that you have to worry about. Rest all has been taken care by Claude altogether. So that's a good thing.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been using Cloud for everything. So, for example, as a solo dev, I need to build and I need to share what I'm building. So there is a gap between this thing. So when I'm building public on X, for example, I need to share what I built, and sometimes it's hard because I'm building a lot of new features and I need to share. So one thing that I did, for example, it was creating a cloud skill. It's called the teaser skill. So I just uh, run that skill and say, uh, check what I built, and then Cloud will check the latest commits in the repo and generate an image and the X post, the X text that I should post. So almost all of the image that I share on the X was generated by Cloud. The images, so everything. So for example, I created this shirt here, and also Cloud generated all the things, all the images. So I have this shirt and
That's
I have
amazing.
here.
That's
So
amazing.
I generated everything. I generated a complete collection, t-shirt collection using Cloud. So just an HTML page with the files, and I can click and download the image, the PNG and the SVG, everything with Cloud. So it's crazy.
I mean, from idea to merchandise, I missed like in terms of a flow, right? Like that's nuts, right? And I think it's an example for everyone watching that all you need is an idea. Of course, Sam, you have the skills to be able to deliver on something at scale, right? But it doesn't mean that through different um, attempts, someone cannot get to the level of Git City, right? Or maybe with some help. So I think it's an inspiration basically, and a brilliant example. Something which, correct me if I'm wrong, I think what worked for you is that you started from an idea. You shared this with me earlier. I'll share my screen now again. Maybe you can
Yeah.
chat to maybe you can speak to this, right, as the origin and genesis of how you got the idea, right? Is this correct when you
Yes.
saw this post?
Yeah. And as you can see, I saw this post in February 9th. So it was less
Yeah,
than 1 month ago. And yes, this was the main inspiration for Git City. I just saw this post and I just repost that. So what if I create a city that you can connect your GitHub account and building, create a building in the city? Just only that. So I just saw that post and I share my thoughts. And some guys say, okay, you can create it. And I started talking with Cloud and creating a POC to just see if I can do that, because I'm not a React developer, I'm not a game developer, you know. So I just asked Cloud, how is it possible to do that? And Cloud said, oh, for sure, you can use this library here and using this tech stack here. And okay, let's do that. And in one day, I created everything. I created uh, the name, I created the brand. Uh, so everything is from my past experiences. So I am a front-end developer, so I like UI, I like branding, I like things. So I like to create those type of things, you know. And in one day I created Git City and I post on X. I created everything and I post on X, and then the guys just started. So it's from the idea to the the code itself, the production environment, it was one day, basically one day.
Crazy,
So I just
crazy.
created a city. I added a connection to the GitHub and input search. And as the GitHub API is free, so I'm not paying anything for GitHub. It's everything. It's free. And yeah, it's crazy because I didn't expect anything like that. You know, I was
No,
just
but
having an idea and creating something. So for the past few months, I probably created more than 6 or 7 projects, and I'm just creating things with Cloud and testing a lot of things, testing a lot of workflows, and then I created Git City. It was just one more project, you know, but then,
it
you
worked.
know, yeah.
So exactly, that's what I wanted to ask you. Is like, what seemed you the beauty of building is that you don't know what will click with people, right? And when you have an idea, because it's you just put something into the world, and then you see what the reaction is from, I wouldn't say the market, but let's just say from the world, right? So
Mhm.
considering that now, like where you're at now is different from when you saw that post, because you have 60,000 users. Like, it's, I think it's great to be ideological and say, oh, this all came from a nice which is great, like, of how you get started. But now how you think today is has to be different from how you thought 30 days ago, because now you need to think about having the right stack in place with the right infrastructure, so that
Yeah.
your site is up once you get this amount of traffic is at this specific hour. If I release something like what you described earlier with the piece of JSON and the problem that it created. So how are you sort of thinking about Git City differently today compared to 30 days ago, now that you have you know users that rely on your service?
Yes, yeah, it's a very good question. Yeah, for now, I just trying to be very careful for every change that I made, you know, and I just want to make sure that the site is up and the people are enjoying the city, you know. So now I need to be careful, very careful of every change, everything that I uh, push to the main, you know. And because all the my other projects, I've never seen anything like that. 20,000, 30,000, 60,000 people entering our website. So I've never seen anything like that before. You know, my my latest
It's a
project was just me, and I just shared, and then anyone was seeing that. You know,
right.
and it's completely different than now. So now everything that I do and everything that I post about, I need to be careful. I need to okay, I need to think more about that, and why should I post, and okay, should I post this and should I post that? And uh, I think now I just, for example, now I'm just thinking more of how can I keep the city alive? You know, how can I keep the users in the city? Because it was just a side project and
Right.
it went viral, you know, And I can just, okay, it was a hype, everyone will join the city and everyone will leave the city. But now my challenge is, how can I make the users visiting Git City again? How can I bring companies to the city to creating, I don't know, hackathons, create something with developers, you know, maybe in the, I'm thinking of possibilities, and as a developer, sometimes I feel like I only think on the technical thing, and I have difficulty of doing and thinking outside the box of the possibilities.
But I agree in the sense, but it's an extremely modular concept that you tapped into, right? And because maps are sort of the base of most games, right? So I mean, I grew up playing Call of Duty, so if you spawn, like if you're playing team deathmatch in one map, like your strategy will be different compared to another map. So like I think what you built today is probably like ground zero, and then you can have these concept of buildings growing in many different environments, right? Like for example, if I'm just making this up, I'll say the hackathon has a specific theme for sustainability, right? Like if you're building something on sustainability theme, it could be you in a forest and who has the tallest tree as a result of the hacker. You know what I mean? Like it can be completely. It's very what can I say? Flexible and dynamic and versatile as a concept. So, but what I wanted to ask you is that how do you think about monetization? Because I think it's now the problem, and the opportunity today is distribution. And me and Naman think talk about this on a daily basis, in the sense that with Claude and the right AI tooling, there is now no barrier to entry. So everyone, like I think up until a few years ago, it was there's only so many there's only so many products. So it was easier, I would say, to go to market because it was less crowded. But right now, it's the other way around, in the sense that a lot of people have a lot of great ideas, they execute on those, but it's a matter of thinking, how do I go to market with those? You've been able to get 60,000 users, which I would say 9.9.99999 other projects don't get. So how are you thinking about? Are you thinking at all about monetizing? Not yet, or
Yeah,
what are
yeah,
your thoughts?
yeah, for sure. I've been monetizing Git City since day one. So yeah, and it's been crazy because I added some shopped items in the city, so every developer can customize their buildings, customize their weapons for the battles. But what I think the most important thing about monetizing the city for now, it's ads. So companies and people are paying to add their ads in the city. So I created an environment that you can buy an ad, and you can buy a billboard in the top buildings in the city, and you can buy a airplane to flying around the city, and a blimp, a big balloon that fly around the city as well. I think Eric was down, but
Oh,
probably
yeah,
will.
he might rejoin. Yeah, he might rejoin. But yeah, you can
Okay.
continue. I think there might be some network issues.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah, please continue. Like I think what the good thing that I see you've done already on the platform is monetization with ads. There was a good way for starting all together. But yeah, like please to continue as well.
yeah. So yeah, for now, my idea is just monetizing with ads and with companies, and just making sure that the companies are having a good experience with the ads. So for now, for example, there are more, I think, more than 40 paid ads in the city, and there are
Nice.
really good results in the city. So, for example, there is an ad from a guy that added a rooftop, bought a rooftop ad, and in 1 week he got more than 600 clicks to their website in 1 week because it wasn't the most at the top. Yeah, but yeah, it's been crazy because had a lot of people joined the city and they saw the ads and they click on the ads, and it's different because the ads in the city are built-in ads, so ad block will not block their type of ads, and it's been amazing. And I'm just trying to work on a better ads management, a better ads experience for the companies and the people that are wanted to add an ad in the Git City.
That's super cool.
Nice.
Naman, what do you think about his approach to monetization? Apologies,
I think I talk, yeah, exactly. Like I was just talking about it as well. Like it's insanely good in terms of how he's thinking overall, from like having ads in place and getting companies to come in and just have like pixels of it, and then based on the visits and all. I saw the concept of percentage there as well. Like, would you like to elaborate a bit more on it? Like, how are you trying to monetize that? Like, would it be super interesting to understand like the concept around it?
Nice.
yes, Sam, I think that's for you for the
Yeah,
percentage.
so there was a page where I think I saw on the ads section where there are certain percentages been shown as well. Let me see if I'm able to bring that up.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
but
you
yeah,
are talking about the ads where you bought the ads, you buy the ads.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In that page, you can just select the type of the ad, uh, and you can preview everything. You can preview the airplane, uh, and all of how the ad will be in the city. And I try to, as I said, everything that I do for Git City, I try to remove the friction, the user friction.
that's
So I really trying to get the user the better experience. So for example, last week I went to an event, in-person event, and I talked about Git City ads, and the people just read the QR code in my phone and bought an ad in front of me, from using their phones. So that is the
nice.
type of thing that I like to do. So remove all the friction, remove everything, and I like to create that aha moment. So for example, I remember that one guy bought an ad in front of me, and when he paid for the ad and came back to the admin page, it was 7 views on his ad.
That's crazy.
So yeah,
I
that's
found
crazy.
I
And
found
when
the page. So maybe you can walk through the process that he went through, right? And what's
perfect,
possible
perfect.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
So this page. So I try to give the person some numbers of the city. So it was almost 2 million impressions and 20,000 K clicks, and the click hate and developers and everything else. And I also add some comparison with the others, the traditional ads with the click rate. So it's good to see. And when you scroll down, you can also see your ad.
This
So
is so nice.
yeah, so you can just type in the input, scroll a little bit, scroll down a little bit. Yeah, and add your message there. And you can see in real time how the ad will be.
Nice.
This is nice, man.
Yes.
Billboard. Okay. The blimp is so nice.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to ask is that how does it work in the sense that because you want to avoid to have, for example, um, like obviously we all want here for you to scale even further, right? But you don't want to get to a point where you have a user log in to Git City and find 900 blimps with their messages. Like there has to be an element of exclusivity to and scarcity to the ad space on your city. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, for now, I have a limit of the the ads in the city, a limit of the blimps and the airplanes and the building ads, and I distribute this from all the ads that the people bought. So for now, I'm just distributing it by I don't know how can I say that, but I just distribute for all the people. So for example, I have now 40 paid ads, and I will distribute this ad between the users and between the the other people joining the city. So for example, if you add your ad there right now, maybe you can see your ad and maybe not. So it's just a algorithm that works
Makes
on that.
sense.
No. So my
And
idea is not having more and more ads. The idea is just having
no,
some specific ads, and yeah, yeah, that's it.
this is so nice, man. Congrats. And what kind of feedback have you received from like, okay, double question. So what kind of people are running ads on your site? And is it brands? Is it individual developers who might want their latest project to be highlighted? And B, second question for you as a follow-up is, what kind of feedback have you received? Like, was it worth the money that they ran as a result of clicks? Or because I think this is brilliant experience
Nice.
for everyone.
Yeah, yeah. So for now, we have a lot of builders, a lot of people that are building their own product and sharing in the city. We also have some people. There's a guy that bought 3 ads, and he just added a text, "Hire me," just that, and it was to his LinkedIn page, just that.
It's genius.
Yeah, genius. So we have designers, developers. We also have some companies adding some ads in the city. So a lot of trying, a lot of people, a lot of it's a mixing of everything. But I think almost uh, most part of them are companies and people that talk with developers, and that's a niche. So it's almost the most part of them. And about the feedbacks, I I had a guy that had an ad, a 7-day ad in the city, and he got 300 users that came to his page in 7 days and 2 paid users. And he just bought an ad for $7 for 7 days. So this was one of the feedback that we have in the ad. So I'm driving so much traffic to the people on that that bought ads in the page, and yeah, it's been nice to see that it really works. Because for me as a developer, man, I need to be honest. I didn't understand how and why is it working. But it's working. The people are buying ads, and I'm driving so much traffic to their pages because of the ads. And the people are really clicking on the airplanes and the blink. So, for example, I thought that the rooftops uh, ad would be the most successful ad, but it is strange because the blimp is the most
I knew.
successful ad. So I don't know, but the people
It's
are really clicking, and they are flying around the city, and they click on the ads, and it's been crazy to see that, and
this is so
amazing.
fun. Now, and what
Yeah.
do you think about this monetization funnel end to end?
It's amazingly executed. I would say, like, I personally feel ads have always been like one of the most effective way for both the partners and the product itself. Because yeah, you get to see the actual traction, and based on that, you're able to scale things up. So that's a good way to monetize always. So yeah.
So Sam, I think it's pretty simple. The blueprint is there, I would say, for fellow builders. Just have an idea, something that resonates with people. People will come, and then come up always with new ways to gamify the experience. So people hang around, and then if people hang around, find interesting ways to monetize. I think that's literally what you did, right? In a way, I'm not trying to simplify here. I'm just trying to summarize so that other
Yes,
builders out there
yes,
who might, because I think a lot of people don't see the sort of light at the end of the tunnel in terms of the potential and possibility of monetizing. But you're an example that is possible, right?
yes,
And go from there.
yes, yes. And I think one thing that's very important is to the branding itself. You need to make sure that everything looks the same so the people look at something and you remember. So it's funny because uh, last week a guy shared a picture that something that remember Git City, something that he was walking in the street and saw some building, something in the city that was really remembered Git City, and just he took a picture and remember, oh, look, this is Git City. So branding is very important. And yes, I think building everything is in public, it's very awesome, and everyone should do that. If I created Git City and I didn't post anything about that and just post on some private groups, I think it will not work as well as just building this in public and sharing my challenge, sharing my victories and my challenges and my everything. So it's really important to share what you are building, and the people like that.
Amazing,
That's it.
man. And I'm just trying to think. This is only possible because of GitHub and the way it's set up, right? Like you can't really try and export this concept anywhere else and make it work in such a way, right?
Yes, a lot of people already build things using these ideas. So recently I saw a post that the guy that created Wiki City, it's a Wikipedia city. So it's
That's
building
smart.
a Wikipedia page, and the
Yeah,
more,
I saw that.
yeah, the more
I just
views the
saw it
thing
on the
has, the more.
platform as well. Like I clicked and it opened up the Git City with a Wiki City with like a grid. So yeah, I just saw it as well. So it was
Yeah.
built like recently.
Yeah, what is the question?
Was it built very recently? I mean, just a couple of days before, or
I'm not
the
sure.
Wiki City? Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, but now we have a lot of possibilities to do with that. So it's open source, so everyone can just fork it and create another thing.
Be- yeah, because this is what I wanted to ask you, right? Because you're able to put your city on GitHub, right? Or no? Like say I am Samuel. I'm building out of Sao Paulo, for example. Are you able to do that or no? You can, right?
I didn't understand.
So my question, for example, is: are you able, for example, in the future, to have a Git City of Rio or Git City of Sao Paulo and show the contributions of builders there locally, so that maybe that
Mm,
adds even more appeal and earning potential for companies that are only in Rio, right? And might be wanting to run
like
I
that.
don't know, consulting, for example, but it's more local rather than global,
Hmm.
right? And then you have
Nice.
yours, which could be sort of like the master map and the opportunity to be highlighted. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because if you do it
Yeah.
like that, then it's infinitely scalable, and you can bring it up anywhere and gamify accordingly. Accordingly,
Yes, yes, it makes sense. Yeah, I pretty sure that we can do that in the Git City, and we can
there
create
you
a
go.
worldwide map of the developers in the worldwide and their buildings. And yeah, for companies find devs. And I also a lot of people suggested me to create a job page in the Git City. So if companies are trying to have the open jobs, I can show it on GitHub in Git City. So instead of the dev find a job on LinkedIn, they can find on Git City. It'll be crazy, but maybe it can work.
But it could also maybe work in the other way around, where the companies come and look for the devs. So say you're hiring out of I don't know, Berlin or out of London, and you have your Git City of Berlin or London with all the builders, and you see Sam or Naman as the tallest building with the highest number of commits, and that's linked to your GitHub. Then they're able to go and see. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like it almost gamifies
Got it.
recruitment in a way as well, and it's all led by what you've built as opposed to. Uh, and maybe you could do this, Nama, correct me if I'm wrong, also potentially with, I don't know, with anything that has metrics, right? Like, for example, if you're a designer and you have a way of gamifying how clicked your site is on on I don't know a platform, then you're able to see
Mhm.
mine is the most sort of viewed or shared design. What do you think? I'm just trying to think on
Right.
the spot here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, we can do it for every set of communities out there, not just developers. It can be anything and everything where there's an opportunity to bring in the community together and gamify it. And the hiring concept is also interesting for sure. Having a job billboard or let people come in and yeah, just apply for these jobs right on the city, and you can have like an interview room in the city where there is an actual interview happening where you could stream. Like that's the next set of things that could come in.
Nice.
Absolutely. Sam, it's been a pleasure to learn more about Git City. I will talk to you at length. I know you're busy and everyone is. So thank you to come on and share more about your story so far, what's next, and I'm sure we'll continue the conversation to see how we and brainstorm how we could further collaborate right between CreateOS and Git City and create additional cool experiences for users out there.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. It was awesome to be here with you, to meet you, and thank you. Really appreciate it. And yeah, let's see the next steps. And thank you for your support and for sharing Git City
Of
to the
course.
world.
Amazing work, Sam. Kudos on all the success and all the best for Git City. And